Everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Juan Carlos Brando. For me, it's a pleasure to have all of you joining us today in this Q&A show with the attorney Margaret W. Wong, who has been working in this field for over 46 years, helping a lot of families, thousands of families every single year get an immigration relief. And she has been doing this for over 46 years. She has offices in 7 cities of the United States, in Atlanta, Chicago, Cleveland, Columbus, Nashville, New York, and Raleigh, North Carolina. And the phone number is 216-279-3984. Let's welcome the attorney Margaret W. Wong to this show today. Hello, Ms. Wong. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, and thank you, Mr. Juan Carlos.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And well, today is April the 4th. We've had a lot of questions going on lately. There is a specific case of a person that didn't show up with ICE, didn't report to ICE. So the ICE officers came to the house and picked them up, and they are now in removal proceedings. So how bad is it when people don't show up in front of ICE for report?
Under Trump and Obama, it's bad, and they do come to your house and pick you up. But I'm surprised that they come to the house now. So I don't know if they're new arrivals or they are just old arrivals before 2020. They're more easy on people who came to America before 2020 than after 2020, because now they think there's just too many people. So for now, it depends on the case. I really don't think it's that bad. Even if they came after 2020, you need to explain to them why you didn't come, ask for a bond. If the case is already in court, ask for a bond. If the case is not in court yet, and sometimes it's a re-parole. So if they were, so it depends on the case, but I think they need a good lawyer. Try to get out and explain if it's still a 1 year, did they file asylum, when did they show up? It could be they already missed the final court hearing, they have deportation. So you need to explain why you also missed the final hearing. Depends on the case, especially if it's a new arrival. Because my understanding is the new arrivals, they normally do report. Because there are 3 important dates, and listeners, you may want to write it down. One of the first day, the most important day is 1 year filing. When you file the 589, the asylum, you have to do 1 year. And sometimes those people were wrong. So for example, I came to America on January 3rd of 2024, but I sat in jail for 5 nights. But the officer said I came to America on January 4th, right? So the NTA is issued on January 5th. So the 1 year starts from the date of entry, not the date of the NTA. So the 1 year is very important. If the file, we have cases like that where the file is rejected, and in the case the judge yells at us. So we explain to them, we filed this on this date. It was rejected. We filed this on this date. The Federal Express had a big storm. We filed this on this date. DHL did not. So as long as you show them you filed within 1 year, that's an excuse, right? So number 1, 1 year filing. The second most important date is the 60 days. If you look at the forms, they have G 50. I think it's 56. So as form is called 56, they will say that's a stamp now. America is becoming very progressive. That's a stamp, and then you take a picture, and then you can go there every month, every year. But once you go once or twice, they'll tell you every year. In fact, all the newcomers now is once a year. And they normally make the once a year after your MC or IH, so they know you'll show up. So that the second date, the ICE date, is very important. Number 1, 1 year filing. Number 2, make sure you report 60 days ICE. And if you move, tell them you're moving, or the address is correct. The third thing that's very important is the date on the NTA. If you look at the date in the bottom lower corner, the last date is a date of issuance. So the date may be January 4th, January 5th of 2024. They should have a date on there. Your next hearing is in Memphis, Tennessee, because each state only have one court. So Ohio, I'm lucky, is in Cleveland. The court is next to us. If I live in Columbus and Cincinnati, I have to drive 5 hours to go to court. So they'll say address, the court, and the date is like the newcomers. Sometimes they give you a date in 2 or 3 months. You have to go. And sometimes the court is not fast enough. They didn't even have the date. But if I were you, I would go and take a picture if your name is not on the board or something, so they know you showed up. These are the 3 dates. The MC date in the lower left-hand corner of NTA, the 1-year filing date, and the ICE reporting date. These 3 dates, I always tell my clients, are very important. It doesn't matter, you use a lawyer, you don't use a lawyer, you have to go. If not, you get a final order, just like Mr. Juan Carlos was talking about, but that's not even a final order, just put you in jail. Once you get the final order of removal, it's very difficult to reopen it. Very difficult. I've won some of these motion reopen, but why pay lawyers just to file motion reopen when you could have just gone? I mean, that's silly. It's a lot of money. Save it.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And don't forget, the attorney Margaret W. Wong has been working on this field for over 46 years, and she has a lot of experience helping thousands of families every single year to get an immigration relief. Let's start with the questions, Ms. Wong. This person says, "Hi, Mrs. Wong." And then the next one says, "Hi, fellows. I have a question. When someone does not comply with the duties they have to do with a temporary work visa, can we report this person to ICE? We got a person to work for 6 months, but this person kind of disappeared."
I'm sorry. I know I have employees who call me and say, I'm so angry. My boss is not paying me the same money that they promised to pay. I have other employees who call me exactly that. Can you report? It's each person is so different, especially we're all from a different culture. Latino people, not so much as Central Americans, Mexicans are weird. They don't like it. They just get lost the second day. They don't come and talk to you. So even when my office hire people, we always tell them, if you're not happy with us, come talk to us. Don't be shy and run away, because it's very hard. So I don't know how to answer the question. It really goes on both sides. I personally don't like to report to ICE because, oh, sorry, it's hard. It's a hard question. I personally won't do it. It's just we learn a lesson, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, this case is interesting, Ms. Wong, because uh, well, we're on April the 4th, but April 1st is April Fools. So we don't want anybody to fool us. It's like
Yeah.
to think that we are dumb, or that we are, the word that you say, that we are stupid. And that's what people sometimes feel bad, because I help you, I try to help you, I try to do as much as possible for you, and then you do this to me, and you think I'm not smart enough. So that's one of the things that I believe this person is feeling right now. Okay.
I get that every day. I work so hard for my client, and then my clients, oh, pay you so much money. You have not done anything. My first intent when I was a young lawyer, I would fight back. I said, oh, I don't want to. Now it's like, people do get upset. We say the wrong things. That it's life. You do what you have to do, and to make yourself happy. And it
That,
is what it is. It's hard, Yeah.
that's right. The next question is, "Hi, I have my case in Columbus, Ohio, but now I live in Georgia. Is it convenient to change it to Georgia?"
Columbus, the I don't know what case you have, but if it's a court case, the court is in Cleveland. Cleveland judges are not the best in the world. We have been winning some cases in Atlanta, even though the judges, but the two mean ones just left. In fact, one passed away. So it's hard because if you live somewhere, you have to transfer the court there. But I would consider, because these two courts are all difficult courts, especially Ohio is difficult.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Yeah, and
It's an asylum case. It's just a 1 year. We just won. We have been winning quite a lot of cases in Atlanta lately. So they are changing. They have a great head of ACC. He's Japanese, not because he's Japanese. I like him because I am Chinese. I mean, we like Asian people, but he's making some changes. So Atlanta is slowly becoming better. Ohio is also. I live here, so I don't want anybody in Ohio, the judges, to call me and say, Margaret, what are you doing on your Facebook? But Ohio judges are tough, so just think about it.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong.
Sorry.
Yeah, and judges in Georgia in the past, they would have 96%
Yeah,
denials on defensive asylum cases.
that's right.
That's about 5, 6 years ago. I don't know how it's now, but it was really, really a very high rate of denials in court. So
Both of
hopefully
us
that's
have,
improving now.
yeah, both of us have high rates of denial, but at least be fair about your denials. Good lawyers, we know how to win cases. We know how to maneuver court cases. That's our job. It's all called trial technique, but just be fair about it. Some judges are just, I don't know where they shop. If they only shop in Costco, BJ's, all these, they will see people like us. I don't know if they even have people doing that yard. Do they work in hospitals, seeing all the night? My brother-in-law just went to the hospital. My nephew's wife just went to the hospital. And when I go to visit them, most night nurses, the people who transport sick people, most of us are foreigners because we are very strong and we can carry people from bed to bed. And so I don't know what they're thinking, these judges or ACCs. I mean, maybe they're not happy. It's not nice. Sorry, Mr. Huang. I don't mean to use this time to complain, but
No, no,
just be
no.
fair.
You are absolutely good. You're absolutely right because the thing about this is that the more you talk about it, the more we know that you know the problems and that you are involved in the cases. So how could I know that some things don't work the way it should if I don't talk about it? If I'm not there, it's like
Mhm.
you have to get to know the system in where you are and what you are working with. So that just tells us about the experience you have. And thank you so much, Ms. Wong. The next question we have is uh, how difficult is it to prove good moral character for a merit-based green card if you have an
If you can
arrest?
tell me what kind of arrest record, what did you plead guilty to? If it's a marriage case, I'm sure it's adjustments. I went 30, 45. Sometimes they don't even interview. So make sure when you file the paperwork, don't give them the arrest record. Only give you the plea. I presume you'll if you have a good lawyer, reduce it to disorderly conduct. DUI is not a moral, it's not a CIMT, it's not a moral issue, even though more than one is no good. It depends on when you were arrested, why you were arrested, and what did you plead guilty to. I would not give them your arrest record or your charging documents unless they ask, and mostly they don't ask if it's minor.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. This next question says, "Hi, Mrs. Wong. I am from Honduras. I have been living in the United States for 16 years. Um, I don't have kids born in the United States and I am not married. Is there any way that I could get an immigration relief? I am a person of good moral character, no bad records, no criminal records, always have been doing well. So,
I
is there
hope
any
you
way that I could
file,
get it?"
yes, I hope you file tax return with the tax ID number. I have a lot of clients who are scared to file because they figure, make sure you get a tax ID number and file tax return. If you never file, amend it, number one. Number two is you have no parents, no family, no children. Remember, why did you come to America? When did you come to America? Honduras is getting bad, bad, bad. And also, remember the trip. I just talked to someone this morning. I'm totally touched by it. He walked and walked for 2 months. He stayed in Chiapas because Chiapas, Mexico, is where all the Guatemalans, the Honduras, the Venezuelans, they all walk there and they stop there. And this client, after staying in Chiapas for a month, saved some money and walked 3 days and 3 nights. They started with 20 people, they ended with only three. one 12-year-old girl, and I'm amazed that the parents let the 12-year-old girl came. It's from Mexico. So that's great. Your case is dismissed. So these are cases where you need to also remember, in this case, it's dismissed. So you're thinking of refiling. I presume you're asking this question because you had a work permit or you never had a work permit, the case is dismissed. So you may want to refile, but you really need a good reason. What took you 16 years or 10 years to file the first asylum? The only hope is asylum, but that's difficult because Honduras is not like Guatemala. You have a lot of indigenous people. But if you live in Honduras by the border, it's also very dangerous. So, you really need to dig your story. What happened to your parents? How many children in America? There's a lot of work on these type of cases. You have to dig and dig, maybe go see a therapist about the fear of going back. Maybe you can do humanitarian. Years and years ago, humanitarian asylum were easier. Now they're getting harder because too many people are coming. So you just have to dig it. Okay.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. Don't forget that the attorney Margaret W. Wong has been working in this field for over 46 years. She has been working in this field. She has helped a lot of people, and she has offices in 7 cities of the United States. Over 60 people working for her, 15 attorneys working with her, and over 30 languages are spoken in the office. So you can call and speak Hindi, Gujarati, Cantonese, Mandarin, Korean, French, German, Russian. Um, what is the other one? From
Spanish.
where Leo is? Well,
Right.
several other languages are spoken in the law firm. So Italian as well. Uh, from Singapore. Well, there's a lot of languages spoken in the law firm. So you just can call and somebody is going to speak your language. The phone number is 216-279-3984. Next question is I have a work permit based on asylum. I have my driver's license and everything. My question is if I can go on a cruiser and come back to the United States.
Absolutely not. You need a parole to go on a cruise. Don't go. America is already difficult. You already got everything you wanted. No more vacations. Work, save your money. Yep. Sorry.
Okay, that's a good answer. And yeah, so what is the problem with the cruisers? They go to international waters as well?
Right. You need a parole to come back. And normally they don't like to get grant parole if it's just for vacation. Parole is for humanitarian purposes. And don't screw up because the more people who apply for vacations, people are going to say, wait, why do you come to America on asylum when you have money to go on a cruise? Because it's not just about you, it's about the whole country's law system, the thinking of American adjudicators. This is a country of law. And the more work I do, the more it's not just to help my client, it's also to educate the media, the American judges, the immigration judges, the ACC, to educate them and say we're not just because I represent some of these amazing, they're nurses, medical doctors, lawyers. When they come to America with nothing, they're starting off from scratch. And you see them. The Polish people came in the 70s, 60s, they jumped ship. We see some even in Cleveland, the river here. And then by the 80s, the Romanians are coming now, they're all EU. And then slowly you see the Romanians getting Hungarian passports, they can come on ESTA. In their mind, they're Romanians because they don't like each other. So as time goes on, you see, and then Koreans come, but now they're not coming as much because now they've ESTA. So you see that. So if more and more people got asylum and do a parole and go on a cruise, they're going to think, what are you guys doing? I mean, asylum is for people who really is like the end of the system. We're coming illegally or we came on a tourist visa, but the country gets so bad that I need to stay. And now you're going on a cruise. What is this? It's just common sense, right? And don't hurt because then you're hurting the next generation of new arrivals that's coming. I mean, what's right is right. I mean, this is what I think. I mean, if I were to adjudicate, I say, Margaret, what are you doing? Yeah.
Okay, thank you
Okay,
so much, Ms.
sorry,
Wong.
sorry.
No, no worries, no worries. You're good. You're good. I always love listening to your stories and your comments because it's there is wisdom in there. So we need to learn how to listen people that have wisdom when they speak. And that's Miss Wong. She has wisdom because she has studied a lot, but also because she has a lot of years of experience. And wisdom is not what you study at the college. That's only knowledge. But what you get through experiences in life, that's wisdom. That's experience. So I really love listening to you, Ms. Wong, because you have a lot of wisdom. Thank you. Okay, next question is how long is it taking to get a visa U work permit? Thank you.
That's a good question. President Biden just started about last year. The U visa C-14 4 years is now at that time suddenly you're getting these work visas in 2 or 3 months. Now it's still going on 9 months to 1.5 to 2 years. There's a lot of lawyers filing lawsuits to push them, but C-14 is running about 1.5 years. But the old ones, you need to start pushing because they are approving the newer ones after the new law, but they're not approving the older ones. So start pushing the older ones. And if they don't approve, go to the ombudsman after at least 2 times filing the complaint to the USCIS.gov website.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Um, and how do people get the bona fideness or bona fide
Right.
for this work permit?
Right, exactly. The way to do Mr. Juan Carlos asked a good question. First, you file the U visa. The forms, as I repeated last time, is I-192, 918, 918B, and then the C-14 work permit. And now it's free. And when it first started, it's $410, and then the A-19 work permit. So once you get all that, the receipt notice of these 5 things, you get a fingerprint notice. Once you take fingerprint notice, now make sure you get the C-14 work permit. Sometimes they're approving them in 3 or 4 months, which is weird. But other cases take about 1.5 or 2 years. So you need to check the processing time because even if you complain to USCIS, the ombudsman would not look at the processing time, the complaint until it's past processing time. So the bona fideness letter, if you had filed the 765, the work permit will come 1 day after bona fideness letter. But some lawyers didn't file it because under Trump, under Obama, they don't give it. So some lawyers didn't file it.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And yeah, this is important that we know all of these steps and all of the little things that we need to know regarding to this kind of work permit. That this is the C-14, as I've heard Ms. Wong say it before, and yeah, this is one of the work permits that you can get. I think it's for 4 years, Ms. Wong, if I'm not
4
wrong.
years. Yes.
4 years. Okay, that's awesome. The next question we have is I have DACA and I am 35 now. I would like to travel back to Mexico to see my grandparents. They are not sick, they are actually good, but I wonder if this would be a good reason for traveling.
Absolutely. You have a DACA parole. It's different from like an asylum parole or something. Yes, but do get a letter from them, attach the I-20 and say they're so old, they haven't seen your parents, if they have no visa, they just want to see you. Attach a humanitarian letter. Yes, you'll get it.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong.
Mhm.
So absolutely file for this travel permit or advance parole, and they will let you back into the United States when you travel to Mexico. Ms. Wong, we have another question here. This person says, I am from Bangladesh. I run Dunkin' in Cleveland, and I would like to know if there is a way that I could apply for someone to help me work in this uh, in this shop, in this coffee shop?
Okay, so it depends on how you came to America. If you came to America on a tourist visa, you're still within the 6 months. Yes, you can do a perm because you're from Bangladesh, not India. India is taking 12 years for EB3. Bangladesh is taking only 1.5 to 2.5 years. Yes, but if you're already undocumented and illegal, don't waste money on doing a perm because you won't get the green card.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And this is an interesting question right now. This one says, "Hi. At the moment, is it possible to get married to a same-sex person and
Yes,
get documents?"
yes, yes. Doma fell a few years ago. I won't be surprised if my clients were one of the first 100 or 50 or 200 because I did the case like the first day was approved, so I was very excited. Yes.
Okay, so it depends on the state, or it's the same for any state, Ms. Wong?
It now is same for all states now. There was a time that New York was one of the first states that approved even if you could get married, you cannot get green card. That started about 2 or 3, 5 years ago.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong. And yeah, we have one more question coming in through our YouTube channel. And this question says, um, if I was detained at the border, can I apply for a visitor visa in my country?
Normally, no, but what you could do is check into CBP1. Right now, it's a new program by Biden, is maybe a year old. Go to the border or the kiosk in Mexico and apply for it. I've clients that got it from other countries. I don't know if it's true because they don't let lawyers get into CBP1. So instead of coming illegally, look into CBP1. If you're from like other countries, look into family reunification, the parole papers, and stuff like that. There's a lot of new programs now for Latino people.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Wong, for this answer. And our time is up for now, Ms. Wong. I hope you are getting to feel well. I am struggling with all of these things in the environment, but this is what we do, and we need to keep working.
That's right.
People need us.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong. Thank you
Thank you.
for sharing all your knowledge and for your good heart to help people. And see you next Wednesday.
See you next Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wong.
Sure.
And don't forget, the attorney Margaret W. Wong has been working on this field for over 46 years. She's ready to help you out with your immigration case. Don't forget, the phone number is 216 279 3984. 216 279 3984. Attorney Margaret W. Wong with over 46 years of experience in the immigration field. Thank you so much and see you next time.